What's up, YouTube family? I'm here on the back of my truck, and it just dawned on me. If you guys haven't already, and I'm laying down because I'm trying to make sure I get all this in frame here, but if you haven't already, please watch Stop the Bleed. I know the videos are long, but it's a class. It's a class. And because it's a class, the video is going to be long. It's a part one and it's a part two. Um, and it is vital because of where the climate of the world is right now, and we don't really know where things are going with, threats of war and civil unrest and all of this. There could be a chance of actual violence and people actually getting hurt, or it might be just like recently. We've had plane crashes and auto accidents and boating situations, and nobody really knows basic first aid. Nobody really knows how to deal with trauma, and trauma is very important. So in video one, if you go to where it says stop the bleed, you see that red hand. You'll see that red hand in the timeline, and that is just basically telling you guys or giving you a class on how to stop the bleed. So let's say if somebody got impaled with an object, or or pierced, or whatever term you want to use, gunshot injury, stabbing, a bad cut, a deep cut, things of that nature. Part two tells you how to pack those wounds and take care and stabilize the person until medical attention arrives, or even how to save yourself in a situation where you might be out hiking alone, or you might even be with somebody and fall and hurt yourself, or in some sort of way, and you have a gaping wound, and you have to take care of yourself, or you have to tell somebody how to take care of you until emergency services arrive. And if chaos happens, we don't know how long that's going to be. And I think you guys, I'm just a straight shooter, I think you guys need to take that more seriously. Take your life seriously. I know it may seem a little boring, but if it's to save your life, you definitely need to watch those videos. This one, however, is not going over first aid. This is going over first aid products and where to find them and what's in them. Okay, so I'm going to jump into that right now, and see what we can get into here. I'm gonna post the links for some of this stuff on the timeline, and on my, she keeps saying on my timeline, on the in the description of the video and stuff like that, and you'll see some links in there on how to get this stuff. So let's kind of get started and go from there. So I'm gonna be standing up, but hopefully you guys will see what's happening right here. And I'm trying to make sure, because the sunlight is really bright, and I'm hoping you guys can see me. All right, the first one is a basic first aid kit. The basic first aid kit, everybody should have one. You should have more than one. We have one that we keep in our vehicles. We have one that we keep in our ready bags and go bags. And this is one, an extra one that we keep. Now, you get the emergency first aid guide, of course. This section of it is all your band-aids and bandages, so we got, what's in here? We got sterile gauze. Now this you can get off of Amazon. I'll post the link. You got some trauma pads, which we're going to get into the trauma pads shortly in the in more of the trauma situation. We got tons of band-aids. I mean, what they're not lacking on in here is definitely tons and tons of band-aids of different sizes and things like that. Let's see what else we got in here. We have aspirin, antiseptic pads, iodine, um, wound tape, to tape down your bandages and stuff like that. Everything has its own little compartment. What is this? I'm not sure what this is. Oh, a thermometer. Check that out. Some kind of it's a thermometer. That's kind of cool. Uh, Never seen one like that before. That's new. You got ice pack. Buy a box of medical gloves. Try not to get them in black. Get them in blue. The reason why is, if you guys don't know, if you get them in blue, and you're treating a wound, these help you to show, blood contamination and stuff like that. That if they're black, it's hard to see the blood. So you definitely want to get blue ones. So if you're taking care of somebody or you're working on somebody, you don't forget and go and start pulling them off and cross-contaminate you or the scene or a person or something like that. We got little wrap bandages. These are more like the what are these? The conforming bandages. Yeah. This is like it says conforming gauze. It's that gauze that you can wrap and it's kind of sticky and khaki and it'll kind of stick to you a little bit. And these are just bandage gauze type patches. They give you scissors. Hey, if it works, it works. Sometimes you have to cut bandages or try and cut through clothes. I don't really recommend these for that. SOG, S-O-G, they make a nice pair of utility emergency scissors and stuff like that I would more so recommend. But these would definitely do the trick if you have nothing else. You have to cut bandages. I don't know if they're going to be sharp enough to cut clothing, but they're supposed to be. What else is in here? Q-tips. This is to put on. You can use these for ointment. To apply ointment on wounds, to clean wounds. A lot of other different things, but for the most part, that's what they're used for. I wouldn't recommend sticking a Q-tip in your ear. That's insane. Don't do that. They got tongue depressors. I haven't seen those in a while, but it's tongue depressors in here. In case you have to look down somebody's throat and see what's happening, and they need help holding their tongue down. You got burn gel. I also recommend if you do a lot of camping, definitely get you more burn gel and have that around, because I've seen a lot of sparks and stuff pop from, different things that you're burning, your campfires and stuff like that. Got some sting relief. And one of the other bags, I think I showed you guys in one of my go bags, I had a sting cream. If I run into that while doing this, because that's in another bag of mine, I recommend that more. If you just go back into some of my ready bag videos, go bag videos, I'm almost positive I showed you that cream. I recommend that more, especially if you get stung by some insect or something like that. It's really good. And I also have one that I haven't shown you guys that it really works. And it takes batteries, but what it does is, and I'll post a link for it if I can find it. You put it on the wound. You press a button. It has a low setting and a high setting. You press a button, and it literally takes away the histamine that from a bee sting or a spider bite or a mosquito bite that's constantly itching you and you need it to stop. You may have to do it a couple of times. It's a quick little burning sensation that you'll get once you apply it for a few seconds, and then it's gone. You do it, you press down, you hit the button, you're gonna feel this little quick burning sensation. You hold it until it beeps, and then you take it off. And I tell you, man, I love it. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. If you'll feel that quick little bite, but it's not a big deal. So let's see what else we got in here. Of course, we talked about the manual and stuff like that. There was something else in here I wanted to show you guys. I can't find it. Put the gloves where I need them. Try and keep your stuff organized, and always remember to update your band-aids and things like that, because band-aids are the first things that will start drying out. If you can, keep them in a case like this. This you can find on Amazon, and it says first aid only, and you can find that on Amazon. Now, I'm gonna say this: do not, and I'm gonna show you, we're still gonna do some more things. Do not buy your trauma kits off of Amazon. Do not buy your trauma kits off of Amazon. That's all I'm gonna say. You can get packing gauze, which I didn't bring out, but we'll discuss that in the video in a few minutes. You can buy packing gauze, band-aids, alcohol, wraps. I wouldn't recommend buying Amazon's version of tourniquets. I'm not saying if that's all you can afford, I would say it's better than nothing to, once you apply the tourniquet. And if you guys don't know, while I'm unpacking, we'll probably get into tourniquets and stuff like that. Because I'm sure I'm going to run into one somewhere. Israeli bandages are very good for that, and emergency bandages. I'm not going to take this out, but this is an emergency bandage right here. And it has the directions on everything that you could do with it and how to apply it. It does have an effective date and an expiration date, so it's from 2024, which shows you we got them recently, and these will last up until 2029. So from 2024 to 2029. So these are good, and these have like a little plastic piece in them that once you apply the bandage, you can kind of twist it and lock it in. Those help for deep wounds and stuff like that. Get you some wound closure. You can get this off of Amazon. And this is good if you don't want to go with the plastic staples in closing a wound. Some people just don't want to deal with that, those staples going in to close the wound. This works more like a drawstring type situation, where you put it over your open cut. You would put it over your open cut, after you cleaned it, and you stretch it out over there, and then you start pulling the little strings, and it starts to close up the wound for you. This is supposed to stick to your skin well enough for you to draw those in and close up the wound if you don't want to deal with the staples. And another reason why a lot of people don't do it is because some people are allergic to latex and certain plastics. So some people have gotten infections from the melt away stitches, in hospitals, where they staple them up and then they get an infection and they get sick or they have an allergic reaction. Is because they are allergic to the materials that some of those staples are made out of. And you may definitely have to let a doctor or physician know, or somebody that's treating you, that you might be allergic to those, and don't use them if you know that for a fact. But if you're just trying to get out of it to keep them from closing up your wound, man, you better close up that wound and let them close that wound up. All right, this is a I want to say this right, what is this called? Pat Votop type of trauma kit. It's a med refill kit. This is the refill kit. I'm gonna post a link on how to get this. Let's open this up and we'll get into that. Again, I you know, some of these writings and stuff. So here's more of that contour bandage stuff. So you get 2 of these in this kit. They give you a better pair of scissors. They're not the best, but they are better, and these will cut through clothes and cut bandages. So if somebody gets an injury and you can't see how far up that injury is, or that you need more room to get a tourniquet on or apply a bandage, you know, you're gonna have to cut some clothes. You're gonna have to cut a shirt. You're gonna have to cut some pants. You can't be shy if you gotta, you know, cut a woman's shirt open and expose everything. If it's an emergency, cut her bra, cut her bra strap, whatever you have to do to save the person. Not to be a pervert, but to save the person. They give you this for emergencies, so if you're out in the woods or something like that, or you just need light to see what you're doing in case of an emergency, they give you a glow stick. They give you one. I would figure that in this kit they would have gave you 2. This is a tourniquet. This is a tourniquet. And if you go watch the Stop the Bleed, you'll learn how to apply these. But this is a tourniquet. This is what you would do if, say, you got a big bleeding wound here on the arm. You would apply the tourniquet above, not in the fold of the arm, but above, and you'll keep cranking to stop the blood flow. It's like turning off a faucet. You're going to keep turning and turning and turning, or pinching a hose. Like, you know how you have a water hose in the summertime and the water's running and you squeeze it to shut off the water. That's all the tourniquet does. It shuts down the blood flow to that area to keep people from bleeding out. So yeah, so it's 2 of those in here. We got 2 tourniquets. You never have enough tourniquets. In case of accidents, have, you know, in auto accidents, have 4, at least 4 in the vehicle, and have 1 on you at all times. And I notice a lot of people go to the gun range, and when they go to the gun range, they'll have all the ammo in the world. They'll have extra magazines. They'll have all the tools to fix their weapons. And what they won't have is a trauma kit. Tell me that makes sense. Why would you not have a trauma kit? Anything could happen. It could be a misfire. A weapon can explode on you in your hand. Somebody else might get, you know, nervous or whatever, and accidentally fire their weapon or discharge their weapon and injure somebody. People have hurt themselves. So you definitely want to have a trauma kit when you go to the range, indoor and outdoor, because you just never know what's going to happen. Now, some ranges will have a basic first aid kit on the wall by the eye wash station and the hand wash station when you're washing the lead residue and stuff off your hands. Some facilities do, some facilities don't. But what you shouldn't never have to worry about, you should always have your own. And you definitely want a tourniquet in that kit. You definitely want a tourniquet in that kit. What else we got? And a lot of this is going to be redundant because we're going to see that in the other. But remember, this is a trauma kit refill. This is a chest seal. This is a chest seal. So, and here's the makers of that, if that helps you. And I think it's pronounced Patvatop or something like that. And things like that. So let me keep going through here, pulling more stuff out. Emergency blankets. they were also in here. That's what I meant to show y'all. They were also in this kit, but they were in this kit too. And these emergency blankets come in handy for a lot of reasons. One, they're reflective, and they can help in an emergency. Two, it keeps heat on a person and keeps them warm, and comfortable, or as comfortable as possible in a very traumatic situation. You see what I'm saying? Where it helps calm them, because when people are dealing with blood loss, they tend to get cold and they want to go to sleep, or they want to nod out, and you want to keep them awake. You want to keep talking to them, asking them the name. Think of something to talk about: their kids, their wife, their car, their favorite horse, dog, whatever. You want to keep them talking, and you want to keep this over them so they don't feel so cold from losing, from blood loss and stuff like that. So just another thing to think about. Going back to the chest shield, the instructions are always on the back, and they have some that are vented, and you definitely want to use the ones that are vented. Depends on the wound, but again, I'm not going to explain that. We're not going into the course. The course part 1 and part 2 are on my channel. Go watch them. So I keep want to tell you guys how to do this, and I'm not trying to bait myself into that. Again, this is a smaller version, a compact version of this. It's a compact version of this. Same type of bandage. What else is in here? Adhesive wound dressing. So it looks like you got 4 of those in the kit. A pair of the scissors. Actually get 5 of those in the kit. You get a triangular bandage. So, remember I tell you guys to carry a long bandana or Israeli bandage or a big scarf or something with you all the time. So if you hurt your arm, you have some kind of way of slinging your arm to carry it, or wrapping. Let's say you had to, set a bone or something, and you had to get 2 sticks or pieces of plywood or something to hold a leg together. These come in handy for that. And the main thing with all emergencies is just remember to stay cool. So we got 2 chest seals. We got the gauze. We have 2 of the compression bandages, which are really nice. You can almost see the imprint of that little plastic piece I was telling you about. This is it right here. And you can do a lot with it. It teaches you a lot of techniques on how to use these. You can actually, we'll probably do a video on it and show you different ways. I'll open one up and show you different ways to use these, But this is just pretty much your refill kit. Most of the time you gotta understand, when you take care of somebody, you're not gonna get your bandages back. First aid kits are always gonna be those situations where you're gonna be constantly trying to replenish your supply. You're gonna have to get more band-aids. You're gonna have to get, more blankets. Tourniquets are the same way. If the paramedics come after you rescue somebody with a tourniquet or something like that, they are not they are not going to give those back. You gave those away. Once you put those on a person, you've pretty much giving them away. They belong to the hospital now, or if they feel that they are contaminated, they will probably just destroy them or get rid of them, just because they don't want to risk cross-contamination of blood or anything, and they'll just probably throw them out or have them disposed of. So I'm gonna pack all this back. I told you get 2 of the adhesive type compression bandages. So it pretty much is 2 and 4 of everything, which is dope. To resupply your kit, and that's why I tell you guys to have more than 1 tourniquet and things of that nature. Why? Because when you use them, they're gone. You're not gonna get them back. and you just keep enough of them around just in case something happens. And not just that, but what if you have multiple people that are injured? Let's say if you and your wife, or you and your husband, or you and your kids, and you only got one tourniquet for yourself. Well, that's not going to work. So, and if they have deep gaping wounds or something like that, they're going to need that same kind of help. Always remember, if you're helping, take care of yourself first. You're not being mean, you're not being cruel, you're not being insensitive. But if you can't help yourself, you can't help anybody else. There's no way you're going to be able to help somebody else if you're down. You have to take care of yourself first, and then you go and analyze the situation and look at what's going on and see who else you can help. And that comes on the priority of injury. And if somebody is still alive, you don't want to spend a lot of time on somebody that's not alive, or you might make an assessment and say, I don't think they're going to make it, and you go to the next person. Those are very hard decisions. But if you need to revisit that person at that time, or especially if you're by yourself, if it's 2 or 3 you guys, and you guys are able to help people or something like that, then yeah, by all means, help the people, man. Don't not help them. This one is a trauma kit that I keep with me all the time, and we're going to be branding these. And right now, they come from North American Rescue. And we're in the process of dealing with them on some things, and we will have our own brand, our own Double Tap logo. So Double Tap Coalition, Firearms Club and stuff like that. But we'll be having a lot of these, and you can order from us. You can still order from us off our site. We can get you these off our site at a discount. But this is an actual trauma kit. No offense to my medic or anybody like that, but what I've learned, even in dealing with my medic and having phone conversations with them, is everything is kind of a la carte. They give you a basic, you get a 2-man kit, a 4-man kit, a solo kit, a family kit, and medical supplies are expensive. That's why I tell you, you can't cheap out on them. But at the end of the day, for what you get in here for one person or 2 people, versus what they charge you for one person, and you don't get everything that's even in this kit. This trauma kit right here that I'm getting ready to show you supplies everything that you need in a trauma emergency. Okay, and when we've ordered trauma kits from them, or we found that a lot of these things that are in this bag were not in the bags that they sent you. It was just basically expensive Band-Aids and alcohol, and basically it was a very expensive boo-boo kit. The boo-boo kits are the ones like you carry when you take the kids to the park or to the beach, and they fall down and they skin their knee, or you're jogging and you fall and you skin your knee or hit your elbow. You have a little boo-boo kit that you should keep in your fanny pack or your backpack or something like that, where you could just, put a little alcohol wipe, iodine, whatever, and put your Band-Aid on it and keep it pushing. That's so you're spending a lot of money for a very expensive boo-boo kit that doesn't have trauma stuff in it, but it is labeled as trauma. And again, my medic, I love you guys. I love what you're doing. I've listened and talked with a few of the owners. We talked to them on chat and stuff like that in the past, I think last year. But at the end of the day, they need to step up their game on that. So let's go here. It has straps on the back, so you can put them on your belt. You can slide them on your backpack. You can put them, on your chest carry, whatever you want to do. Your chest rig. Now, in here, you get 2 packs of wound packing, which is very important. You can't pack a wound without wound packing. You get 2 sets of hyperallergenic gloves that people are not allergic to. You get an orange tourniquet, right? You get another pair of scissors, just like the other one I showed you, much thicker. What is this? This is flat tape. This is your chest seal twin pack. Now, what's cool about this particular chest seal twin pack that comes in this kit? You have two. See, it's two together. It's just they're just folded over each other, but it's two. You get 2 packs of these in our kit, right? And you got to ask yourself, how many chest seals do you actually have when you're using these? Some people say, well, it's 2 packs. It's 2. No, it's actually 4, because the backing and the wrapping that they use when you separate the chest seal and you put it on the person, you can use that backing as a chest seal as well, and it will adhere to a wound the same way as this. So actually, you get 2, but you get the use of 4. You get you get 4 out of this 2-pack, because you can use the backing that seals these. You understand what I'm saying? So, but again, if you watch our video, part 2 breaks this down, or is it part 1? Part 2 is more the practical, where you're going to see people actually stuffing mannequins and different things like that, showing how to pack the wounds. So that's more 2. 1 is just all the emergencies that could happen. I got to do a video on 911 calling and stuff like that. My wife wanted me to do it. So I'm going to do a video on 911 and how that works. But yeah, here we go. What else we got? And we're almost done. And I'm happy that this is not a long video. This is emergency trauma dressing. So in this is really all you need, for an emergency situation. Tourniquet, chest seal in case somebody gets, injured in the chest, stabbed, impaled, shot, whatever. Scissors to cut clothing away, cut bandages, and your wound packing gauze, which is extremely important. And again, you can get your wound packing gauze and all of that from Walgreens, CVS, stores like that. They usually sell it. You can get it in boxes. They'll have it in boxes, like you could get 4 or 5 rolls of it in a box and just keep it. Remember, when you're packing these wounds and you run into a situation like that, you're going to be nervous, you're going to be panicking a little. And trust, when you're packing somebody's wound where they've either gotten shot or cut open, and you're trying to stop that bleed, and you forcing this packing gauze into that wound, they're not going to like you very much. Matter of fact, they're going to hate you. They're going to cuss at you. They're going to be angry with you. But that's okay. You're trying to save their lives, and they got to deal with it. You understand what I'm saying? So, but you pack it in, and remember, never let the gauze touch anything unsterile. Don't let it hit the ground. Don't do it with your hands dirty if possible. Make sure it's nowhere where you get cross-contaminated with anything, any chemicals, any gasoline, any oil, any ground dirt. Because remember, you're packing that into somebody's body, into an open cavity or crevice. So you want that as clean as possible. So when you're packing the wound, always be mindful of where that excess is laying. A lot, even when we were going through class, a lot of people were letting it hit the table or hit the floor, and we were like, nope, that's a fail. You cannot do that. So again, you'll see that in the video. So I'm gonna post links to this stuff in the description. If you want to order this, off our site, we'll have this. I'll post the link so you can order it. And the newer versions that we're going to have of this is going to come out, and it's going to have a few more features, a few more things in it added to it outside of the basic stuff. But this can actually save your life or somebody else's. I would encourage you, like I said, to always have more than one of these. So right now we're probably up to about 2, 4, 6, 8 or 9 of them, and we still want to get more. And we're ordering some other types of things that work the same way as a tourniquet, in case you can't have, and you can always improvise with a t-shirt and all that, but all that is being taught in the class. So hopefully you guys got something out of this. This is just, I'm just trying to tell you guys the type of first aid kits you should always have around you, and things of that nature, and when to carry them, and think about not just yourself but other family members that may be traveling with you, or people that you may have to help in the street, or what have you. You know, just supply yourself that way, and understand that some of these things like these, once you put them on people, they're not going to give them back, and why would you want them back? You probably wouldn't want them back. So definitely stock up on those chest seals, bandages, gloves, good gloves. Go to a medical supply, or you know, if we have them on our site, I gotta see, I believe so, I'll put the link up for that too, so you can get those medical gloves and stuff like that. Don't get them in black unless you can help it, but if that's all you have, then that's what you use. Okay, peace, love, and blessings. Be safe out here. And yeah, I'm just dipping all over trying to be in the camera, but I'll catch y'all on the next video. I got 2 radios that I'm going to be reviewing for you guys, 2 new ones that are MRS and I'm sorry, MRS GMRS radios, and I believe ham. And some of them do dual frequencies, so they'll be able to do channel and frequency, and you'll be able to talk on them, because they're changing the bands, and now they're changing the frequencies where you won't be able to access some FM frequencies anymore. And we just got blessed and got some of the few radios to still allow you to do that and help you to access other frequencies. So I'm going to be doing a YouTube on those. So hey, the only way you're going to see it is to like, follow, and subscribe to the channel. Share, and I catch y'all on the next one.